Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hope everyone's well this afternoon. We have a guest today.
Yes, welcome, Luke. We're so excited to have you here.
And your last name is pronounced Wang, right? Yep. You're
Can't
muted, I
hear
think.
you, Luke.
Oop, say, uh-oh.
Nope, you're still muted.
Muted.
Well, you were all unmuted before the stream. And then
Oh, I know. The
The
garden.
first time I was on What Your Plans, that happened to me too.
Yeah.
I don't know, but ever since it was completely fine.
Okay. You can hear us? Say
We
something?
can't hear you, Luke.
Oh.
Nope.
Mm-mm. Let me see if I can edit mics up. Well,
Well, hi, everyone. And thank you, Dee Dee. Yes, I got my hair done on Thursday. Gotta look good
Indeed.
for the holidays.
All right. Adding back. Hello. I think I hear something. Can you hear us?
Luke, can you say something? Say something.
Yeah, can you hear me
Oh,
now?
there you
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yay.
All right, I guess we just won't use headphones then.
We can hear you good though. You sound good. So.
Okay,
Mhm.
as long as it works.
Well, welcome, Luke. We're very glad you're here.
Thank you. As is tradition, I'm having some technical difficulties.
Perfect. It's perfect.
So I was asking the pronunciation of your last name just to confirm.
Yeah, you are correct. It is Wang.
Okay, got it. Alrighty then. So backstage, you were talking about you and your friend just became president and vice president. Are your friends the president, your vice president
Yeah, that's right.
of your local club? What's the name of it?
Stuff is happening next Saturday at the board meeting, but you know, this month's club meeting has already happened, so we're in that kind of limbo space right now.
So, what's your club?
My club is the Sacramento Aquarium Society.
Okay, so Larry Schenkel's club.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Larry Schenkel is a rainbow guy. He is my friend. He is a very good guy, and he's a good person to buy rainbow fish from if you ever want to buy homebred rainbow fish. His are good.
Oh,
So.
nice.
And for Luke, you could just go there in person. So. Oh, Luke froze. Oh, no.
Technical difficulties galore.
Oh, no. Oh, well.
I
Yeah.
want to see them plants. Oh, his phone just decided to reboot.
Oh, no.
Okay, be back. Right now, let's just look at his frozen tank and his frozen face.
You know, at least he didn't freeze with a dumb expression on his face.
True.
I probably freeze like, So, oh well.
Well then,
Yeah.
I guess while we're waiting for him to come back, Kelly, you had a birthday yesterday.
I did. I turned a, I guess, kind of a big number.
10,001.
10,048 million. And I turned 45. So
Congratulations.
Happy
Awesome.
birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, had a good weekend. So.
Awesome.
We went to the Reef, which is a big store in Indianapolis. If you ever are in the state of Indiana, you should go shopping there. It's really cool. It's got a huge freshwater section. It has lots of plants. It has lots of tissue cultures. It also has really cool saltwater. It has huge display tanks for both monster fish. So it has some Oscars that are like this big. And it has a huge saltwater display tank with some, I think it's a bubble tip anemone that's, oh gosh, it's huge.
Nice.
It also has a pond section that's closed for the winter. It has house plants. So it's a cool shop, but they didn't have what I was looking for. So I bought a couple plants and that was it. And then Jake took me out to a fancy place for pizza. So
A fancy pizza place. Okay.
Yeah, it's called Itrimore.
Wow.
Fancy, like one of those wood-fired
Nice.
You and Zen were the same age for a minute.
For a minute. Now I'm older. I'm 10,004,899, and Zenny's 10,004,498.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Alrighty.
Luke is back! Yay!
Welcome back.
Thank you. Just in case it happens again, I'll try to get back quickly.
It's okay. It's okay. You've got us to cover you. So
So
Yeah, what I have to say doesn't matter much anyways.
that's not
Oh,
true.
no.
well,
Nonsense,
you were
that's not
using
true.
a
Not at all.
fertilizer before backstage that I want to hear more about.
Yeah, a friend of mine, I used to work at a store way back when, and a friend of mine makes fertilizer.
The powder.
It is a powder. I use RO water in this tank, so it includes a hardness buffer,
Oh,
as
nice.
well as macros and micros,
Okay.
because I'm lazy. It doesn't quite, so his formula, we've been working for a few months now to try to get it working right, and in most people's tanks it works well. My tank gets a special formula that has triple nitrogen. I don't know if anyone can see here, this guy.
The mangrove, that's... Yep.
This mangrove,
Woo!
since June, it has had two pairs of leaves.
Wow.
And now, finally, it is putting up this third pair.
Yay!
Yay,
I've
awesome.
heard they grow slow, even in salt or brackish. They don't grow fast.
Yeah, so then you can see sort of like the fertilizer powder around the bottom of the tank.
Okay.
It doesn't all dissolve immediately, which I guess is to be expected.
Yeah, probably the calcium and potassium in there is what
Oh,
takes a little while.
dissolve.
Yeah.
So
So
does he mill the powders together, or
yeah, I was gonna ask, like, how do you
Yeah.
keep it all together? Because I really want to do an all-in-one powder myself. I just
don't
just
trust
kind of
it.
combine them. I shake it up and then
Yeah,
take
I
it
mean,
before
you
I
have
dose.
to have them milled to all the same grain size. So they,
Mhm.
I mean, you need to like mill them with a powder mill, which I have done before in labs, and those powder mills are expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, he does have powders that are milled to the same size, but
That's
also I believe what he was taught. He was having some issues with chelation, and so he lives in the Bay Area, and relative humidity is like 60% year round. So he just, which is like not super high but not low, which is awesome. He leaves his powders out so that they can saturate with water before he regrinds them, so that they don't turn into rocks in the bottle. I think that's about all I can say because I'm not fully familiar with the entire process, but there is something along those lines.
nice. I mean, because they would get saturated anyways. Fish rooms are always humid.
Right.
Especially Steven's fish room. He lives in the swamp.
I mean,
Before I usually put silica gel in, but this formula he told me not to, just to see what would happen. So far it hasn't caked, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Nice. And so how often are you dosing that?
Too often?
Too often, or what? Or not? You said not too often.
Way too often.
Right.
That's kind of why I pointed out the mangrove earlier. It breaks all the rules since it is out of the water and has no restrictions. The fertilizer comes with a scoop. It's supposedly 1 scoop per 10 gallons after a water change. My mix is already triple nitrate, like I was saying earlier. This is a 50-gallon tank. I dose 10 scoops upon a water change. And then
Where does that bring your nitrate level when you do that?
30-ish ppm.
Yeah.
I
And-
get that with the fish because I keep a crap ton of rainbows. Like
I
all my
know,
tanks are
I have-
heavily stocked.
When you have plecos in some of your tanks,
I have plecos in one tank, and it's called the pleco tank, and I'm actively getting rid of them. So
It's about 5 by the end of every night, though. I do.
Wow, but it eats up all of them.
yeah.
I do 5 scoops every single day.
Wow. I mean, I should fertilize more. I mean, because those immersed plants, they just suck it down.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
plants,
For
you're
the
not
record, I don't recommend planting a tree in your tank.
yeah, so I was wondering, like, what is the mangrove itself is just consuming all the nitrates? Or
I can only assume so.
Yeah, they really immersed plants suck down your.
Yeah.
Because I grow immersed plants, a lot of them, and
They definitely suck it up a lot faster.
because I need probably a formula that has a little bit less nitrate than you would typically get from like an EI dose, just because I kind of sit at that 30 level consistently all the time anyway.
I don't know that that's necessarily true, actually.
Really?
Because in my experience, the only thing that I see sorry, I should step back. Because I use an all-in-one fertilizer, and the ppm of introduction of each chemical is equal every time.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that nitrogen is the only thing that really is deficient. So I imagine if you did a full EI dose, your plants would probably pick up more slack than they are now and suck up more nitrogen also, in addition to you adding more nitrogen in.
Okay.
I mean, I can tell when I should be fertilizing more. My Java ferns look bad, and it's not just phosphate; it's everything. Java ferns are hungry. They're hungry for all nutrients.
So we have a question from Zen, and just as a background, she has a new tank. She just started injecting CO2 for the first time. She has she's using fluval stratum, and she's using a Nilot G prism light.
And her KH is about, and GH are about 6.
Yeah,
I believe, because they're about like my water.
Is the prism one of the non-adjustable ones, or does it have an app?
it doesn't have an app, but it is dimmable manually.
Okay.
It's just it's a hardcore, heavy duty, bright ass light for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would raise it up.
She
Put
did
it
raise
on,
it up.
Elevated.
is it on legs?
It's hanging, I think.
Oh, that's good. Well, if it's
it's
hanging, it's even.
I recommend that.
It's yeah, because I have a hanging light too. I have one of one of those Chihiro's lights. They're super super bright. They're easy to dim, really, just by.
I'm a huge fan of the Twin Star.
You have the Twin Star, yeah. I have the Chihiros, and the hanging. I would raise it up, Zenny. That's what I would do.
Yeah,
So
it's high, I'm pretty sure. But so what she's trying to figure out is she's dealing with all the new planet tank syndrome, where she's fighting all the different algae and stuff. And yeah, it's hanging on a pulley system, so she can raise it and lower it.
Yeah, I wouldn't stop fertilizing. I would just do a consistent full dose. If you're doing dry dose, do an EI dose or light EI or whatever you're doing. Just keep consistent.
How high is your CO2 turned on?
So she showed me her drop checker, which give you a general range, and she's in that lime green stage. If you know your pH differential, Zinder, let us know. If you drop the whole point.
7 kH from the tap, and yes, adjustable percent and hanging from a pulley. It's about 12 inches up. You know what? I would pull that up a couple more inches. It can make a real difference. Give it.
How many fish are in the
2 inches?
I don't think she's doing any fish right now.
So
Because she's just delving into CO2.
There's
She doesn't
no
wanna
fish.
catch
You should just crank that CO2 up as high as it'll go.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Turn up that CO2.
would raise your light a bit, and some of it is You know, a new tank just has growing pains. So this tank that's over here looks real nice now, but it took a couple months. And it just, you know, keep up your water changes. You need a lot of water changes with planted tank substrates. So George Farmer recommends changing them every day the first week, every other day the second week, every third day the third week, every fourth day, and then finally every week. So just do some water changes every single day for a while. It really makes a difference. Just a quick water change, you know, don't fuss.
And when you do it, add your fertilizer back in afterwards.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
And because it's not just the nutrients in the fertilizer that you're getting rid of with a water change, it's ammonia, it's dissolved organics, and a lot of that is leaching from the new substrate. Your plants need time to settle in, and there's going to be a certain period where you're going to have algae, and it will just go away.
And also, if you leave too much just dead plant tissue around the plant itself, it'll encourage it to kill itself. So you want to get that stuff around, vacuum around the plants and stuff like that.
You've got
still
settling in and stems dying off, and you know. Just settling in.
This tank behind me.
I still water change every 3 days.
That's wow.
How long have you had that going?
About 5-6 years.
See, you're a more disciplined man than I am. My plants get once a week, and that is it. That's all they get.
A no from me.
I was a lot lazier, but I've told the story to a couple people. I went to Kentucky and I lost like 70 species out of the tank, and from that point, I've been pretty anal about it.
Wow, 70 species of plants.
Yeah.
Oh, it happens. What do you think went wrong?
How long were you gone?
Sorry.
My question was, how long were you gone? And Kelly was asking, what do you think went wrong?
I was gone for 8 days, I think. 7 days.
Oh, that's not very long.
Yeah, it shouldn't have. Yeah.
It starved itself to death.
Do you turn down your lights when you go on vacation?
I probably should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
wasn't around to dose.
You do.
I wasn't around to dose, and so everything just auto-cannibalized, basically.
Yeah. I mean, and that's another thing, too. So, like, I don't know if you know who Greg Zidek is, Luke. He's pretty famous. He's a planted guy. He's on all the forums as Greg Z.
Mm-hmm.
But his tank is really run on a knife edge, too. You know, he drives a lot of light with T5s, and his tank looks amazing.
I mean, he is like almost all stems, right?
Yeah, very few.
And they're all hard stems. It's all RO water. I mean, his tank is truly amazing, but it's pushed on a knife edge. So, like, he has to auto dose his first if he, you know, when he gets out of town. But, like, if you don't run things on a knife edge, you can get away with a lot.
Right. Well, yeah, the problem with running an autodoser for this that I've realized with my formula of the fertilizer stuff is that it will precipitate if I try to make a concentrate solution.
Yeah, some of those don't. Yeah. I'll have to look at what he does. I mean, he mixes his own. I think he mixes each fert separately, each component separately himself. That man is amazing.
The faux chem?
Yeah, faux chem. I mean, yeah, he mixes it all up himself and doses like light EI. So Mike says, I was gone 2 months and didn't lose anything while my wife watched the tank. What happened that you lost 70 species in a week? Mike, I think what you're discounting is that your wife is pretty amazing.
Yep, your wife. She did a lot of work for that thing. Yep.
Someone's there to actually dose the tank as well.
Yeah, she did a great job. So, way to go, Brittany. So
that all-in-one dry ferts, you said it's got it has GH boost in it as well.
Yep.
And how much do you raise your GH in that tank? There's rainbows in there, right?
Yeah. The GH it fluctuates because the plants suck it up, but it goes between 2 and 5 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah, rainbows are pretty adaptable.
2.5.
Yeah. And did you get your rainbows from Larry?
I did not, no.
Oh,
I got my rainbows from another friend of mine who lives a bit up north.
okay. That's cool.
Yeah, his name is Travis. He happens to be the president of our club now.
Oh, that's cool.
I think if anyone is interested in them, I do believe he lists on a few places. Has quite the selection of
I
rainbows.
feel like I've seen him on Aquabid.
What is his what's his aquabid name? Do you know?
I believe it's AAA Tropical Fish.
I don't know him. Well, I mean Larry knows him, so.
Yeah.
And Get Gills too, yeah.
I think, yeah, he's got some stuff on Get Gills, and I believe he said he's on eBay and other sites like that as well. So look around. He's got a lot of species.
Yeah,
That's
I see he's
cool.
got a trifasciata, sequensis. I've never even heard of that one.
I mean, I have a feeling he's getting a lot of his fish originally from Larry or from Gary because Gary's come out to your club, so he's got.
Yeah, I think he's gotten a few things from Larry and Gary as well. I know he picked up a few things from D Brown at the Triple Crown too.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. So he's got good stock.
And Audra says he's on Vivi.
Vivi,
I keep forgetting about that Vivi.
I haven't even checked Vivi yet. Like, I don't know, one thing at a time.
Yeah.
So, how many tanks do you have? I mean, I see those two, and I thought I saw at least another one.
Yeah, there are 3 here in this little nook. A few more. I can do a brief tour if you want, but it's not. It'll be a little loud in the fish room.
That's all right.
No.
This is
That's
a
fine,
fish
Chuck.
room. Fish
Whatever
rooms
you
are
want to
loud.
do. We just don't want to lose connection to you.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Well, my phone's gonna do whatever it wants, regardless of where I'm at in the house.
That's true. Yeah, if you're on a phone, it's easier. So.
Yeah. Sure. So these 3 tanks behind me are. So this is the only one that I actually consider a display, because I don't know. All of my other ones are function over form.
Yeah. How many species of plants do you have in there?
Currently, I'd have to check my spreadsheet to be 100% sure, but it's in between 140 and 60.
Oh,
Wow.
Jesus. Shit. I don't I should probably keep a spreadsheet because I'm getting to the point where I'm forgetting.
Wouldn't be able to operate without it.
Wow. I just sort of remember.
I just sort of don't operate.
I did for a while, and then I didn't anymore.
I'm not a plant collector, though. It's not my jam.
This
All right,
guy's
we'll get in there.
it's all one species of Ludwigia back here.
That is
No one's in here. It's
Yeah.
just sort of been set up and letting the plants root in so that
Okay.
when I put something in there, hopefully the aqua soil stays mostly behind the wall.
That's always tricky.
Yeah, and then this guy is just a little immersed thing here.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
This guy is exciting. This is Habaneria repens. It's a bog orchid. The flowers aren't super,
Oh.
but most
Cool.
orchids are super epiphytic and
Cool.
can't stay soaked.
Yeah, that's cool.
And this is the girlfriend's plant bay window.
Oh, that's beautiful, though. So that's her
Mhm.
passion. That's
Well,
beautiful.
I've dumped some money in. As long as someone else is there to take care of it, I like the orchids and stuff. So, you know, we had some aroids and whatnot too.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool, though. Very complimentary hobbies.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. This is another tank. This one I kind of like. I haven't been able to show it before since it was in the AGA, but the results are out and I didn't place anywhere, so it's all good now.
Wow.
Nice, but good for you for entering. That's
Mhm.
awesome. It's a
Yeah,
lot of
this
work.
tank-
It's a lot of work to do those competition tanks.
Yeah.
That's
It wasn't
awesome.
even initially meant to be in one, but I just had it and I figured, why not? It's not like I'm submitting any other scapes.
I think it just supports the AGA, and I think that's
Yeah.
really cool.
What size cube is that?
7 gallons.
It's a 7.
Cool. It looks
just-
really big, but it's
Yeah, it does.
Right. I was gonna say it looks large, and then I see the canister filter next to it.
Yeah, that's a Awaza 60, I think, the smallest one.
Is that what you were looking
Yeah.
at, Kelly, for yours?
I have an Awaza. I can't remember. It's one of theirs. It's that kind, but it's bigger than that because it's a 17-gallon tank.
Mm.
But yeah, I like it. It has the integrated heater. It seems to do well. I like it.
Guess we can go down here first. For anyone who's not only into fish.
Ooh.
Woo! Oh, steak.
Snake.
Oh, I don't want a steak.
I don't want a snake either.
I don't want to feed anything rats or mice. Ugh.
Mhm.
They're cool to look at. It's like a bird. Like, I love birds. I wouldn't want to have one squawking all the time in my house, but I'll
So
go
is that-
visit your bird.
Is that your snake or your girlfriend's snake or both?
She adopted it, and I built the enclosure, but care is mostly on her.
Look at it.
Yeah. She's about 9 foot long or so.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Probably
that's
not getting
smart.
much bigger, but
Yeah.
she's really friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, look how friendly.
Hi there.
Look at him.
Don't
Just
eat me.
Hi, Grace.
Wow. So you can play at the enclosure for the snake too.
Hello.
Oh, snake.
Yeah.
So
So
Scotty says Mystery Snail Guardians is less scary than that snake. That says a lot. I don't know. I mean, you've met Annette, Luke. What would you say?
yeah,
Scarier?
I'd say so. The snake isn't very scary.
Annette sends really interesting TikToks.
Yep. Very.
I
Very-
mean, I don't want to look at any other TikTok except that Annette sends.
Oh,
The
this
best
is another
TikTok.
tank that's not mine.
Okay,
Ooh.
is that saltwater?
Yes, ma'am.
mm,
All right, that's your girlfriend's.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's so blue.
It's so blue. Well, I imagine that's the nighttime light.
Mhm.
Okay, plants.
This one is my Dicrossus maculatus tank, which I only have her left right now, and it's kind of sad.
What
She's-
is Dicrossus maculatus? I don't know that.
It is the spade-tailed checkerboard cichlid.
Okay, it's a little cichlid. All right, that's why I don't know.
Yeah. She's about 4 years old now and has killed 3 males and isn't very nice.
All
She's
right.
picky.
She has the full 33 to herself right now.
Oh my god. Gina
But-
says I knew my salt senses were tingling. Wow. But Lady Rorschach says that's her dream cichlid. Lady Rorschach, why do you want mean fish? Why
They're
don't you
amazing.
fish?
They're hands down my favorite fish. I think I have a line on getting some more soon.
Mhm.
And this is the fish room.
I hear the pump.
I know. Sounds like a fish room. All
This
right.
is the most recent thing.
Are there orchids in there?
There are a few, yeah.
Cool. See, Steven, that's what I wanted to get. One of those things.
Gotcha.
They didn't have it.
With some kind of critter in there.
I don't want to put a critter in there because I don't want to culture live food.
Mm.
Eventually, I'll probably do dart frogs, but nothing yet here either.
Yeah, I mean, Jake.
This guy's my favorite plant.
Yeah, the jewel orchids.
Yeah,
right?
this is the lightning jewel orchid, Macotes patola.
I
Nice.
would like some of those too.
The
But-
leaf veins are just amazing.
Alas, I did not buy myself one of those this weekend, so it will have to wait. So,
Why not?
well, they didn't have it at the reef. That's why I didn't buy it.
Well, if you want one, I do have a couple others. Let me know.
Oh, of the jewel orchids?
Yep.
I got to get the enclosure first, but then I will hit you up.
This guy is really cool too. This is Psychopsis Mendenhall, cultivar hildos, and the leaves on it are just these leaves. I like variegation so much. The
I
leaves
do
are amazing.
Mhm.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I see some variegated oak leaf creeper, or not oak leaf, ficus pumila.
Oh, yep. Yep. A couple Selaginellas. There's some alternate Theraphicoidea.
Classics.
Lag,
Classic.
silver powder.
Nice.
There's a Simolis here too.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Nice.
And then all the 20s. Mostly dwarf cichlids in here.
Yeah, that was like a breeding rack.
Yeah, we don't have to look at them right now. They're not very effective in the dark.
It's okay.
And then this is the other last thing.
More
Also not mine.
your girlfriend's salt.
There you go, Gina. I saw she was in chat.
So there's some sort of clown in there and something else, right?
Yeah, there's a lightning maroon clown. There's a Tomini tang here. There's a purple firefish. And then one of the Cirrolabris wrasses. I'm not sure exactly which species. I'll have to look more.
I love wrasses. They're so cool. Fish everywhere in your house.
Yep.
Nice.
Ooh.
Some people are happier than others about it.
Well, your girlfriend has her own hobby, so
Yeah, right. She can't blame me.
yeah.
He's got a snake. I don't know. If Jake brought home a snake, we'd be done.
And his name is Jake. If you remember 90s wrestling, Jake.
Oh, God, that's true. Yeah. So,
Man,
well,
I could not keep up with
awesome.
that many species of plants. Like I have this tank behind me has probably like 20 something species of crypts, and I can't tell you what they are, mostly because they're still in transition. And most
To be
of them-
fair, most crypts do look the same.
Yep.
A lot of them
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
I'm sorting them by tall, medium, and short crypts, basically.
That's a good way to go. I have a couple more to send you, Steven. They're almost enough where I can pull them.
Sweet.
I know I have the
Gotta pull him immersed.
tiger.
Yeah, and I've got and I have the Rose and Maiden to send you.
Yeah, that'll be good. I like
Nice.
that one. So how long have you been doing this for?
Plants or
Well,
Yeah, just like
we'll start with plants. Yeah,
compulsively collecting plants.
So actually I went to college for jewelry and metal arts.
I didn't know you could get a degree in that.
I
My
leaned very
ex-husband
heavily
did
on
jewelry.
the metal arts section. Didn't really make anything wearable in my entire time in college. But for my show, which we all have to do a senior exit show when we're about to get our degrees, and somehow my department was very understanding about what I was doing. So my show was for loosely biotope aquariums using plants and fish that were endemic to certain countries, and using those endemic things to illustrate enclosed populations of humans, and using cast or fabricated sculptures to illustrate a specific aspect of U.S. foreign policy in said country.
Cool.
So at that time, I ended up doing a lot of research into where plants came from and where certain hardscape came from, and I did my best to get things from certain regions. And it just really fascinated me, because that's when I had to figure out that, oh yeah, you got to take care of plants like you take care of fish. Like,
Yeah.
fish need to eat every day, so do plants. And like, we're all like, oh yeah, these Amazonian fish need soft water, and these like Rift Lake cichlids need super hard water, but no one really thinks about that with plants. And then some people think about that with plants, and then they're like, oh, I can't keep this thing or that thing. But then a lot of us have a community fish tank where you're just like, yeah, this is about average parameters, and you like, I'll put things in here and they'll do okay. It's not perfect for anything, but it's fine for everything. And that's sort of like what this tank is. And I was doing that with fish once upon a time because I have the collectoritis where, like, if I'm doing something, I got to have all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Me too.
And then plants just are almost easier to do that with than fish, right? They don't move around, so they need less space. And now I settled on this, and each plant gets, you know, a couple square inches of space, and they make me happy.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna ask, like, how do you keep up? I know you have the spreadsheet, but like, if you have that many species and you have like just a little bit of space devoted to one plant, I've tried that before, and it just like I will forget that there's like some light demanding short plant sitting there, and then it will just get snuffed out by something else I put next to it that I let go. That happens to me a lot.
So alongside my every 3-day water change, I do an every 3-day trim.
Was that Snake Lady that just passed by?
Hi, girlfriend of Luke. No,
Yeah, I spend about 2 to 3 hours every 3 days trimming certain species, and I use these scissors for the entire tank.
Oh, the spring scissors. I
Oh,
like
yeah, the
those.
spring scissors are nice. Yeah.
Fatiguing.
So these blades just do every single thing in there, and sometimes that means I'm cutting off individual leaves, or
You are certified.
I trim one.
No, from me.
I trim about every other month.
But I get that. You have this one display tank that you can devote all that time to. My problem is I have 20 tanks and all of them are planted, and like 8 of them need that kind of maintenance.
Well, that's why I run all my other tanks as low-tech tanks, right?
Right.
I not have all of my tanks run like this.
So you just run one CO2 tank?
I have another one, but I don't know if we can see the bubbles even through the boiling on that bubble counter.
Yeah, it's just gurgling. Yeah,
it's just going.
Yeah, it's like CO2 level. Yes.
Yeah, right. It's my drop checker doesn't go green; it goes lemon yellow, which is why I also run the air stone in the back.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of my drop checkers kind of lean a little bit more. I don't usually use drop checkers anymore. I just watch my fish. But some fish are sensitive, and they can't take a full pH of dropping, and some can take a pH and a half, 1.5 points. So you know.
So what do you keep your KH at with that tank?
I don't really test it, to be honest. But
you don't buffer. Well, you use RO, right? So you don't buffer it at all.
Sorry, what?
You use RO water in that tank, so do you add any carbonate to it at all?
Only whatever comes in the mix.
Okay.
Yeah. So
does that mix have carbonate in it?
It does have a bit, not very much. So right after I dose, it usually goes up to about 2.5, maybe 3 parts per mil, or DKH.
Oh wow.
And then
pretty high. For RO.
Yeah, and then it just steps back like everything else.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have a bunch of rocks in there.
Yeah, there's zero hardscape.
Water so often, so.
I haven't had any hardscape in this tank well, I suppose my Java fern is attached to my mangrove trunk, if you want to call that hardscape.
You don't have room with 72 species for hardscape.
Yeah.
Currently, I consider 50% hardscape.
Let me check right now.
Yes. Then bring it up.
Yep.
So currently, this tank is running 129 species.
Wow.
That's bonkers.
Wow.
Most
yeah.
I've done in a tank is 90 species, and even then it was hard to manage.
So,
Every-
Myrtle, I think
Facebook
have
auction.
we found someone crazier than you?
Yeah, I think we have.
Yeah.
With 130 species in that tank, yeah. You're officially crazier than I am with my collector.
Crazier than
And hey,
Myrtle.
and hey, it's only 130 species because you haven't sent out a package yet.
I have it packed out in a Ziploc bag. I just couldn't get to the post office today. I'm going to go tomorrow. I was in classes all day until the post office closed because they closed early here today.
Soon to be over 130.
Does Myrtle have something you don't have?
Like one of the, I think one or two.
I don't have.
Wow.
Always open to trades.
I don't think I
Okay.
have a single thing you don't have. So
Do you have purple Bacopa? Because I just got that recently.
I doubt it. Here.
that's a nice.
Let's go to the
plant.
spreadsheet.
Everyone public access in the chat. Ready? If anyone wants to look at the list, it's in there.
What's in our private chat?
Oh, it's on the
Oh,
YouTube.
that's Myrtle said.
Oh,
something.
you posted a link, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, if you're not a mod in chat, it'll delete the link. So if you put it in private chat on StreamYard, I can post the link for you.
Yeah, I just don't. Here, I'll disappear off camera.
Hi, Luke.
Because yeah, I would be curious to see that list, and then we could do some trading. I mean, I probably don't have too many things because I mean a lot of the stuff I got from you now. Like, I had to start a whole distilled water plant farm.
Did you? So is that just your bowl, Steven?
Yeah,
or do you
just the
have a
bowl
distilled
for
water
now.
tank now.
And then
Sorry.
I've got, and then I'm doing the whole hydrochloric acid thing.
You're a madman.
I think, I don't think a lot of things are super necessary. To be honest, unless you're like super insane, you're probably fine just making your plants adapt. That's what I would really recommend to most people. Even in this tank, I'm sort of forcing plants to adapt. I'm just gearing the fertilizer to be enough for anything to use.
Yeah.
I'm not really, like, there are aerial columns in here that definitely want softer water than I'm giving them, but I'm just pushing so many, like, enough nutrients to them, and there are enough other things sucking it up so that it never hits the point of inhibition that they're just fine. They're not growing as well as they possibly could be, but they're okay.
Yeah, I mean, certain ones I tried, the parameters are too different from where I'm getting them from, and they just don't make it. Like something as simple like the Rotala Willicii that I got from Myrtle, it didn't work because my KH is 7 degrees out of the tap, but I transferred some to the bowl, and it's now growing like crazy. I gotta trim it all the time.
Well, it's an easy plant.
I grow in water, and it's soaking in my tap water, which is pretty high GH and KH. If you want to try some of it out, I can send some over.
You guys have super hard water in Sacramento.
Yeah. Do you use RO for everything, or just that display?
I use RO for this and all my wild cautopistos. I do pure RO water changes.
And your salt water. So.
Yeah. I just get water stolen though. I don't really. I had water in here. It's gone now. I guess I need to make.
Make more. The water out of the tap there I know is really, really hard. Whereas I have KH of 6. It's not bad. Out of the tap, So I don't bother with RO.
This is Sophia, everyone.
Hi,
Sophia.
This is the one behind the reptiles and the salt water.
Hi, Snake Lady.
Your plants are beautiful. Your house plants.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. How many people are in here? Can't tell. 4?
60?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
we had 60. We're at 56 people watching right now.
4 people left. Wow. That hurts people.
So Liquid Rock Aquatics want to know, how hard is Sacramento water?
It comes out of the tap around 250 ppm right now. We did just have an influx of rain.
Oh, right, because yours comes out of a reservoir, so it does
Yeah.
change. See, ours is, we all, in the Midwest, everything's from an aquifer. So 250 ppm is about 15 degrees of KH. I mean, that's pretty high.
I mean, it's not all KH. That's
That's TDS.
TDS. Yeah,
TDS.
yes. Based on my testing, it comes out about 7 GH, 4 KH, which is not great, but not horrible.
4 KH is pretty good. I would.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
I would just run with that with an aqua soil. That would pull down to like 2, I bet.
Better safe than sorry.
I'll take that risk. I used to grow plants in KH of 22.
Since Kentucky, I've just been super paranoid, and I've done everything as well as I can to just stick to that schedule because I don't want to lose that money again.
Yeah.
Yep. I get that. I mean, have you reacquired those plants that you lost? Or are you just kind of accumulating them back again?
Yeah, I am accumulating some of them back. And I run low-tech tanks as well. I don't call any of my other tanks planted tanks, but all of them have some plants in them. So I was able to pull plants out of them and make up about 40 species of the ones that I lost. And Facebook auctions, I spend probably too much there.
I stay away from those unless somebody tags me in them, and I'm like, all right.
It's always me.
I go up on too, and I'm looking at these listings, and I see that Myrtle has liked all of them, and I'm like, fine.
I don't bid on any of them, but I just like them. So
I know. I'm always tagging Myrtle into things too. I'm like, oh, Myrtle, you'll like this. You'll like this.
And then he's like, oh, you want to just split me some later?
Yeah, I'd gladly split. I haven't bought anything recently, but I just like all the posts so that I can save them for if I need to get this plant later on.
Right.
And go back and check.
Growing it, yeah.
Yeah, instead of liking them, I just buy them.
Myrtle doesn't have much tank space.
Yeah, I only have 2 square feet of plant room to grow, so.
Yeah, and I'm running out myself, but yeah,
also,
there's always room. I can make room.
I also don't have room for very much. So, but I have recently in the past couple months spent a lot of money on the planted tank auctions. So.
Yeah, I do have backup.
I haven't looked on that group in 2 weeks at this point because I know I can't look at all.
Well, Merry Christmas, Alexander.
Oh, thank you, Alexander.
Hi,
Alexander.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Alexander.
Thank you, Alexander.
Now to go buy more plants on Facebook.
Yes. So Zenny says specifically my Aquarium calamastrata, but I don't know what you're talking. Oh, is the only escape from hair, algae, bleach, or fire. It's the bane of my existence. I can't clear it off. So hair
instead of bleach, peroxide will help. And manual removal for the most part, just manually remove as much as you can. And then if it starts growing back, a little bit of peroxide.
And your crinum is still settling in.
Mm-hmm.
They take 6 months to settle in.
Yeah.
Right now, it's working on growing good roots. And then it will turn into what I have, which is huge and taking over my whole tank. But that took 2 years. So, I mean, just manually remove as much as you can, as often as you can. Like every week, pull it out, and it will start to settle. I mean, I haven't noticed that Siamese algae eaters eat it. I don't think they do. I don't think a mono shrimp eat it.
I had Siamese algae eaters in this crypt tank because when I started this crypt tank, it's aqua soil and CO2 injected, but it's all crypts. And so it was just straight up disgusting for a while.
Yeah, it was
everything was falling apart.
Yeah.
But now it's starting to come back. But yeah, the algae was everywhere. I did deploy some Siamese algae eaters. They took care of the staghorn in a day.
Staghorn, they will eat. Yeah, they are amazing on staghorn. And they'll take care of it in a day. Florida flagfish, I have never had a Florida flagfish, but they're really beautiful.
Yeah,
I think they need a little cooler water, right?
they can tolerate a wide range of temperatures. I think the
Okay.
only issue with them is they're just kind of assholes. But
Yeah.
if there's nothing else in
They'll
there,
eat
But with the rainbow, they'd be okay because,
Mm.
like, rainbows are pretty boisterous. They're really pretty fish, but
Florida flagfish will eat your like narrow-leafed, needle-leafed anythings though.
yeah,
Anything that's delicate, they'll munch on that too.
no, they're kind of assholes. But Jenny, just keep manually removing, dim your light a little bit, give it some time, do your water changes. But that Aquarium is going to be just fine. Right now, it's settling in, it's growing roots. It needs 6 months. That's a plant for the long haul. Don't move it.
Also, just in general, not only for hair algae, I've noticed that like when I want to use peroxide in this tank to spot dose anything, I can dose the tank with 100 milliliters and have no ill effects. And just leave it there and not change water.
So peroxide breaks, for those of you who missed chemistry that day, it breaks down into water and oxygen, molecular oxygen, which will just bubble off.
like really quickly.
At 2 milliliters per gallon, I've seen nothing take issue with it.
Problem. You can
if you're running your filter, you're going to kill some beneficial bacteria too. But you can easily just turn it off and then wait for it to denature and then turn it back on.
I don't even think that's really a problem because it's so little peroxide in the water. But it's easier just to use a syringe to spot dose it as much as you can. But your Aquarium is going to be fine. Just keep manually removing. Work on overall health of the tank. Your Aquarium will get there. Just give it time.
So I have the same question.
Stupid patience. I know.
How many of the 127 species in there can you positively ID if you pull them out? Because I was looking at your list and I'm seeing like you have the sunset and the tiger of the polysperma, and I'm like, I could not tell you the difference.
They look very different.
They're pretty different. Polysperm, the sunset will get very vibrant pink and very distinct white.
I guess I just need to wait because they look the same right now.
So the tiger gets a little longer and like flat, whereas the
polysperma the sunset has a little wrinkle to the leaf.
Ovoid leaves always, and then the venation is very different. You're never going to get the bright neon pink in tiger. It's a more faded, like more brown, rusty red. If it comes out of my tank, I can identify any of the plants that I take out. If I send it to you and then it grows differently because your setup is different from mine, there is possibility that I won't recognize it in the future. But if I take a trimming and I forget to label the bag, if I come back to it, I will know exactly which plant it is that just came out of my tank.
They're your babies.
If I ever
all these varieties of boosts,
refer back to the spreadsheet, which is why I started that in the first place.
Yeah, I should think about starting one of these. I'm not gonna, but
just think about it and then not do it because I don't want to do that either.
I'm 100% not going to, but I admire this organization.
I have a good memory, and that's good enough.
I don't even have that.
But I also don't. I'm not a plant collector. Like I like to have a lot of a single species. I think it looks. I had plant collectoritis years ago. I'm past that.
It's going to come back. It'll come back.
I don't think so.
I guarantee you. Once you move into a new house and you get a bigger tank, I'm pretty sure you're going to get more species, and you're just going to just start adding up more and more.
I had plant collectoritis when I had smaller tanks.
How long have you had that rainbow sword in the front there? Oh, that was.
Bye, Luke.
I was looking at a spreadsheet and I was scrolling.
Speaking of spreadsheets, the most I do is if I buy a new plant, I'll just add it to a Google Doc that I have. And then every few weeks or months, I'll just go back and see, do I still have this plant or not? And just highlight it red. I don't put a spreadsheet and say maintain. The way Luke has it is completely organized and like, here's what I have in this tank. Here's what I have in this tank. How much of it do I have and all that stuff? I don't do much of that stuff. I just say, do I still have it or do I not have it?
Jake and I always say that like the hallmark of a dude hobby is you have to have a spreadsheet for it. Dudes fucking love making spreadsheets. I mean, just like how many albums you have and like, oh God, dudes are insufferable. I don't want to make a spreadsheet of anything. I don't want to. So Zenny says, I've been using a syringe and spot treating with the Aquarium's hair algae. From Google, looks like it's the Edogonium variety. Okay. Just won't stop growing. Slowly but definitely growing. I'll just keep trying. Just be patient. That new tank is still settling in. Raise the light up a little.
Mm-hmm.
Your crinum is still settling in. I know it sucks. Like, you don't get from 0 to this crinum in 2 weeks. Like, this took 3 years, 2.5 years. So it sucks.
Yeah. I mean, hair algae manual removal is pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, getting the rest of your plants healthy and getting your light dialed in will take care of it. I mean, like if you had an older tank that all of a sudden hair algae cropped up, I would say, okay, time to clean your filter.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. It's settling in. That fish is amazing. What is that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, what are we looking at there?
Oh, that's a Madagascar rainbow for the fish.
The Vidachias. Oh, those are so pretty. I don't see those very often.
Oh, he's the boss of the tank. You can see everyone else hides over there because he's like, fuck you.
He's a good-looking fish. So, Zenny, there's a fish that's related to a rainbow that is not the rainbow fat body that you like to body shame.
Technically not related. They are convergent evolution. So if you really want to, like, if you were Wang, you would say that they're not rainbows.
No, they're not rainbows, but they are related. They share pretty recent common ancestors.
Yeah. So Zen, I just for dosing things, spot dosing, I always turn off my flow, not only for potential like filter things, but if you have no flow and the peroxide, the Excel, whatever it is denser than the water, it's gonna sit there better. So right now we're looking at the Pogo Stem and Helferi, and it's got some algae on it. I don't know if my connection is good enough to focus, but you can sort of see rippling because the density is different. It probably doesn't come up on camera at all.
But yeah, it'll stay there for a while as it separates.
And then you'll see that it'll actually start bubbling if you just wait for it for a while.
Yeah, we got a mono shrimp not doing anything.
Oh yeah, that says they're useless. Just like SAEs. I have a constant rotation of SAEs in quarantine. As soon as I put 3 into this tank, I know they're going to outgrow it in 2 months, so I get another 3 that are smaller. Because once they get a little bit bigger, they just wrestle the other fish instead of eating the algae. You can probably see the column of little bubbles coming up now.
Yep, for sure.
So Zen says, and I'm sure all the moving and planting new plants every week and stirring stuff up probably doesn't help much either. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to keep things as consistent as possible.
And would treating it with the water level down during water changes be any better? Sure.
Yes.
You could do that because it'll be more or
concentrated
be less
and on the leaf. Yep.
But I'm here to tell you, you gotta you just gotta give it time.
Be patient.
I know it's not a fun answer, but it will get there. I always think that a tank needs like 3 months to start looking good.
You just turn on a power head?
Yeah, I turn everything off just to kill the flow, but my CO2, this reactor here, since the CO2 is so high, it makes this bubble pretty quickly when I turn off the filter.
Got it.
The fish is incredible. Wow. You know, because I don't see those very often. Wow.
Yeah, better to look at them than at me. So.
I mean, those are good-looking fish.
I was asking you about that rainbow sword that you've got in there. How long have you had it in there? I was curious how tall it's going to get.
I don't think it's gonna get any taller. It's a few years old now. I can probably pull up a receipt from when I bought it if you want.
A few years old. If it's only that tall, that's pretty damn good.
Yep.
I want swords, but I don't want them to take over the damn tank.
There's another one that I do like. It doesn't model quite as much as this one. Like this, some of the texture or the color here is not actually algae. That's the color of the leaf itself. This green block with this redder. So the other one that I know of is not quite as nice color-wise, but it is smaller. The Haughty Red Pearl.
Yes, I was just gonna say the Haydai Pearl. I've got one right in the front here
Nice.
on this tank, and it's a modest sword. I mean, I would say that I do trim it, but it's under 12 inches tall. I mean, I have it in the mid ground of a 90, and
Is it really that big?
Yeah, mine is.
I never got one that big.
If you leave it in, it likes to spread out and make a wider bush. It goes wider than it does tall.
Yes.
Yeah, I've had them
Definitely one of those.
not tall. I've gotten those up to like 4 inches tall.
Yeah. So Luke, this is it. This is a 90, so it's a good size plant.
Yeah, that's way taller than I've ever seen. Oh, that's nice though.
Thank you. I love that plant. It did nothing. It did nothing. It did nothing, and then I finally moved it to the front of the tank where it got more light.
Okay, Steven, I take that
really
back. I like the hard leaves of the red pearl more than the rainbow.
Okay.
The pearl.
The new leaves of the rainbow are nicer, I think, but the red pearl has nicer hardened leaves.
I think it's a nice plant. If it's propagated once, and I sent it to Dee Dee, but it died in the heat, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I know that Mike wants Haydai Pearl, so the next one I get goes to Mike. It is a slow propagator, though, and I also don't try to propagate it. It's got a little spike coming off it right now, but oftentimes I just cut those off. But I'm gonna let one develop now because Mike wants one. So.
And
You got Deep Pockets. Iguazu's a good one.
Which
Iguazu 09.
Iguazu.
Iguazu 2009. Yep, it's one of those ones that are.
I have that. What is it? Socarno from Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have Red Twisted and Red Diamond.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, those. So I had I got tissue culture cups of those, and I sharecropped Steven's his plant farm. So, and then he sent he sent it back because I don't need like 5 big swords, you know.
Right.
So he sent me one, and then presumably you have the others, or you gave them away. I don't know.
I have like one of each left. Also, I have the Meboldi red. It is coming back. I mean, we're talking like 3 like that big.
It's coming back. Oh, I do really want that plant. I say I'm not a plant collector, but there are a couple I want. So Zen says, but my pink flamingo did stop melting with 2 leaves left and has a teeny new pink leaf growing out. Unfortunately, I have seen no return growth from Myrtle's crypt. I think it's gone. Maybe it'll come back though. You never know.
Hopefully, yeah, fingers crossed. If the roots are still there, it should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, crypts, other than pink flamingo, do really want to live and grow. Pink flamingo is kind of a wanting to die sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the the whatever?
I don't remember which one I sent, Zen. It might be the Ponditaria folia, but however you say that one, or it might be
Ponditaria. I have some of that one too, but I don't know where it is. It's mixed in with some other crypts.
That one is a very slow converter for me.
But once it does get converted, it'll send runners all across your tank, like almost constantly.
It has kind of stayed confined for me, but.
I've had plants go out in a 6-inch radius all around in my tank, just from the mother plant. There's 6 inches all around.
Ooh, Mike says that he has some Laganandras. He has red and bleeding heart he can share with me.
Nice.
Bleeding heart.
The other plant I'm looking for is Barclaya longifolia. I've been looking for it forever.
Yeah, you used to see it like 6 or 7 years ago. It used to be pretty common. I don't see it much nowadays.
I know. I want all the plants that were like popular when I was in my 20s.
Pink
I
one
put-
was
I
super-
put a
Warrior.
really gross, kind of dying one into the 50 about a week ago. It hasn't put up any new leaves, so I'm not super hopeful. But the Barclayas are so nice.
They are nice. Yeah, Greg Zydak has a really big one. He was going to send me one, but then I think his died back. Bro, so sad because that is plant I would really like.
Yeah.
Oh, just don't see it ever.
If you had some issues with Ponidariafolia converting, a sort of similar, at least comparable one is going to be Longicauda. It doesn't seem to have any converting blues, but once you have it going, it is going to grow a little bit slower too.
Ooh, Mike also has Lagonandra carolensis and silver powder.
Hey.
I have
You have all the good Lagonandras
silver powder
and
cross
this
pink.
Homolamina cicada. I have never had a Homolamina.
I
But
want
you
that
can also
second.
grow them in terrariums, so yeah, I've never grown a Homolamina. I did finally, speaking of plants that like reliving my late 20s again, I found Blixa albartii, which I hadn't been able to find it in a long time, and more Blixa japonica.
Nice.
I love those plants. I had not been able to find them, so that does make me happy.
Is Austin about to go live?
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, it's 6:08. Where does the time go?
I know.
Austin sent out a video earlier today. He won't be going live today.
Oh, okay. I see Scotty has a pop-up scheduled to happen in about 7 minutes too.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow, Scotty he's popping up all over the place.
Popping up.
That's great. That's great. Talking about the Clash.
Oh
Nice. Yeah.
That's exciting. Yeah. Well, this has been very fun seeing your tanks. This is very inspiring. I don't really want to do this. I'm just, I love seeing you do it though. Like I don't want to keep a spreadsheet.
Getting into the mind of the insane.
I know. I mean, it's kind of like when Garden sends me TikToks. Like I don't want to go on TikTok, but I love the peek into her mind. I love it. So Beck says Blixa japonica is one I'd like to try too. I'll keep that in mind when it starts propagating. I'll send it your way. It is a beautiful plant. I had it a long time ago, quite a bit of it. It's a very useful aquascaping plant.
Sweet.
So,
yep.
Yeah. And it's pretty easy to grow. You don't see it much because I don't think it converts well from immersed, maybe. I don't know. Why don't you see it much, Myrtle? You just never see
moving it's kind of hard. Like if you take it, like it doesn't have that. If the water changes, it doesn't like that. So Mike said that too. Like it hates being shipped and moved around.
Yeah, so shipping it can be an issue, I guess.
I mean, I own a lot of it I bought for the aquascaping competition. And then I forgot to take it home. And then I don't know, didn't you and Brooklyn like it all died for you or something?
The Blixa japonica?
Yeah.
Yeah, I planted it in like front and center in the 40 and it just disappeared and it hasn't come back.
Yeah, but then I bought it again and it's doing really well. So, but I'll try to send some your way, Bex, because it's a very nice plant and it's very hard to find. Just crazy. I used to be able to find it all the time.
Yeah, and it grows pretty well once you've got it established.
Yeah, it's not a fussy plant.
Yeah,
it'll grow nice and bushy and spread off the side.
It's just that if it doesn't make it through transit, you won't know immediately, but then it'll start rotting and it'll happen from the center outward, and then suddenly you have a bunch of Blixa leaves floating at the top of your water.
And when you see that happen, the rest of the plant's it's too far gone. There's no coming back from it. So,
damn.
So Mike says, if you
Mike,
want to look, aerial colin Malaya tour might be shipped better. Ha. That's the one that you recommended to me, Luke, right?
It will ship better. It'll grow a bit slower than Blixa, though.
That was even harder to find.
It grows a lot slower. It doesn't make any side pups in the same way that Blixa does, which are easily removed. You have to uproot your whole Ireo and then pull apart all the little tiny things and hopefully not break the roots if you're trying to propagate those. I think Maleator isn't huge. It stays a little bit smaller than some of the other ones. If you're looking for a bigger one, Brevescapum is good. That'll match your Albertii a little bit better, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Bex can grow all the aerial columns she wants. She has softer water than I do. So, you know, if you want to grow an aereo, you should do it, Bex. But those are even harder to find. So they had some aerial column tissue cultures though at the reef. I didn't look to see which ones. They have a lot of tissue cultures there.
Well,
why would they call it the reef? I wouldn't even like go in that.
It opened in 1967 and it does have a big saltwater section. It's a big store and there are probably at least 1,000 customers a day in there. And according to Jake, it's that busy every day because he goes and buys me stuff there during the week. That place is hopping. So if you come to visit me, Steven, I will take you there because you'll enjoy it. It's a nice store.
I would like to visit because if I saw something called the reef, I'd pass right by it. Like that's saltwater, obviously.
Yeah, but the saltwater is also fun to look at. I mean, it's a great store overall. I think it has more freshwater than saltwater, though. So, plus it has houseplants, terrarium plants. It has a pond section, which is closed right now because it's cold out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bex, when it propagates, I got you, girl. I got you, girl.
Got Kelly, my heart set on Blixa. Yeah.
What were you saying?
Did you want Maleator?
I wouldn't mind some. Yeah, I'll buy some off you. I'll try it. That one doesn't.
Okay, I'll contact you later then. Or we can figure it out. I've got other stuff to send out too.
Yeah, no, I'll buy some off you. I like trying new stuff. I'm not like crazy like Myrtle is. I'm not a plant collector. I'm not. Yeah, but I like to try new things. I just got a new plant, new for me. I have never grown before. Litorella uniflora. It's a foreground.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
We'll see if I like it.
Cool.
So, Zen says the reef seems like bad advertising for most freshwater. Also has a big saltwater section, and it's kind of famous. I mean, it's a big store. It's been around since 1967, so it's super nice. Zenny, come visit me. I'll take you there. You know we'd have a good time. Come visit. You need a break from your children.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to visit Indiana in the winter, though. Come in the summer, Steven. Take a break from the heat.
Yeah. I don't want to be like up in the super snow.
You know when you should come up is October because you could see the fall color, which is it's very pleasant. It's like 70 degrees.
No, I like colder than that. I mean,
yeah, but the thing
I'll come when it's like 50.
The thing is in November when it's like 50, it's depressing here because like all the leaves are gone.
Yeah.
It's gray. It's just gray every day. Whereas October is really beautiful. It's pleasant. It's not humid. It's like 70 and dry. Zenny says, OMG, I need such a break from my children. If you come to visit me, don't bring them. Don't bring them.
They wouldn't have a good time. They'd be really bored anyway.
I am really boring. They would not enjoy it.
Anything like my kids we brought them to Triple Crown and just
worst
sadness.
Trip ever.
I mean, Jenna brought them to do fun stuff too.
Clashy mentions, that's what I call Keystone Clash, Clashy. Because I like to think of like there's a mascot for Keystone Clash named Clashy that runs the account. Suzanne, you can get a long break from the kids at the Keystone Clash. Very true. And I think I'm going this year. It's looking good. I mean, I have not purchased any tickets yet.
So
but
is Myrtle too.
I think
You-
I'm
you
going.
know
Oh my
that?
god!
I have my fingers crossed.
Yep.
I do plan on going. Yes.
Oh my god! It would make me so happy to see Myrtle. Oh, that would be the best. Because we could just talk about classical music and plants
Mhm.
and kitties all day long. It's like my 3 favorite things.
Nice. Well, speaking of Clash, maybe a mod can drop a link to Scotty's stream that's happening. Oh, too late. I did it.
So,
You timed that just so that I couldn't post a link with you.
I already had it
Clashy
copied
says,
and pasted.
I'm required to attend, so I don't know who
Mm.
Clashy is, but I cannot disappoint Clashy. So, Mike says, if Myrtle shows up the Clash, I'm bringing my kid and his keyboard, and I will encourage him to play Baby Shark.
I will burn the venue down if he does that whole stream.
I mean, you wouldn't think Myrtle had a violent streak, but that might bring it out.
Doesn't take much fire, you know.
Yeah.
Casually toss a match. There's nothing violent about that. It's just a well placed bit of fire.
Luke, I don't suppose you would go to the Keystone Clash. That's kind of a trek for you.
I'm a little bit tight on funds right now. I'm not planning on doing that.
We
But-
had to get you to sell more plants.
I am planning on going to the ACA in Madison though. That's the next.
Ooh,
But
is
I-
that where it is?
I'm
Okay,
planning
ACA in
to-
Madison. I go to Madison a lot because my sister lives there and the kids. I might go to the catfish convention there. I'm not really into catfish. I don't really care about catfish, but you know, there are people I could see. The cataclysm.
that.
Yeah, Mike would be there. So
Might as well go to both. You know, it's always good to double dip if you can.
well, I mean the family would like to see me more, you know.
Yeah.
To see Aunt Kelly a little more. So Zen says, I know someone who's going to the Clash and I kind of want to go now, but the hubby has to agree and he's not into traveling that far for a fish event. And we haven't even gone to Aquashella yet here. Oh dear.
Go to the Clash.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like you would need childcare. I mean, you would have to
True.
watch your kids because you probably don't want to take your kids.
Mhm.
So someone has to watch your children.
Right. Well, Scotty has started his stream, and I need
Yeah,
to get some
let's-
food. So
Head on to Scotty's.
Yep.
So thank you, Alexander. Thank you, our super chatter.
Oh.
Thank you, mods.
Real quick, right before we head out, since we're on the topic, kinda.
Mhm.
How many people would be willing to travel to the Sacramento area if we do something? Probably the second quarter of next year.
I don't know. I mean,
I didn't want you anyways, Mike.
I could hang out with my pal Larry Schenkel. That'd be pretty fun.
yeah, I'd be willing to, but I've got so many different trips already lined up for 2023.
Yeah.
I'd have to have known about that ahead of time, but it's like I got Fishtoberfest now, the Clash, and then Aquashella Dallas, potentially Aquashella Chicago.
Wow, you're gonna do Fishtoberfest again.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I'm committing to nothing, but like I have to go on a tropical vacation in February. I have to. It's really important. So I don't go
You have to.
crazy. Yeah, I mean the winter is long here, but I have to have it somehow. And then I'm maybe going to Louisiana because I sort of bought the plane ticket in January. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Gonna go see Steven and Jenna in Brooklyn. Hopefully
Nice.
Jess. So
Well, Jess is about 6 hours from me, so
she said she might drive down. So
okay, sweet.
I don't know. We'll see if she can or not. But for sure I'll see Brooklyn. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah, see Brooklyn probably the whole time. So
She's 10 minutes away. 15
Yeah.
minutes away, so.
I have to see Brooklyn's fish.
Indeed.
Thanks.
And her
And her
steak.
meticulous fish room, completely organized, not a single thing out of place.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Don't put that pressure on her.
Don't.
Don't listen to what I said, Brooklyn.
All right,
I
y'all.
want to see Steven's meticulously organized
Oh,
fish
no.
room.
I'm not even pressured.
It's
It
okay.
is what it
You
is.
know what? You can make me work on your tanks when we're there. If you want to aquascape something, we could aquascape something together. I mean, because I always think if you came to see me, Steven, I'd be like, time to redo the 90. So I am not committing to any fish things except I'll probably be Keystone Clash because I don't know. I feel like a net might hurt me if I'm not there.
Yeah, she will.
Can't take that kind of hate. So, well, thank you so much, Luke. We really appreciated having you.
Yeah.
We'll have
Thank
to
you,
have you
Luke.
on again.
For sure.
And you
This
guys,
has been
yeah,
fun. You can just come up and hang out and answer plant questions like
Mhm.
that.
always down to hang out. Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you, mods. We have the best mods. Thank you, everyone who showed up to chat. Thank you, lurkers. Thank you, replay people. If you leave a comment, I try to answer all of them. If you have questions or if you just want to say something, I try to leave a comment, returning that. So, but thank you, everyone.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you all.
See y'all
See y'all
next
later.
time.